It's much nicer to have the rest of the herd around you going off the cliff instead of plummeting on your own.
Welcome to the Two Authors Podcast, an entertaining chat show hosted by best-selling mystery and thriller authors Douglas Pratt and Nicholas Harvey, in lively, humorous and informative conversation with distinguished guests who share their thoughts and experience about forging a successful author career.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Two Authors Podcast.
On the road.
On the road.
Or, I guess we didn't take a road. We flew our asses over here, so...
We flew a long way. So what is amazing, which you can't see at the moment, is we're looking out a window at the Houses of Parliament and the Thames.
Yes.
And
look,
Big Ben.
Look, kids. Big Ben.
Big
Parliament.
Ben. Exactly. So
I've been waiting to say that since I've been here. I wanted to drive by and go, hey, look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. So.
Brilliant. All right, well, we're at SPS London. We're in the first morning. It's just getting wound up. We've been to a few things. Vendors are here. What's your impression so far?
Oh, my God. Well, one, it's like a whirlwind. Like, it has been, this has been so energetic. We got 500 people here. It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like 500, but it's intimate. They've got big rooms, but it's a long room to give you an idea of the layout. And the main presentation room is a long room with a podium in the center. So the people are quite spread out. And there's an announcement in the background that will...
That's right. If you guys get it, they're just telling us it's time to eat. So get your asses to the buffet.
So we're not lying. We're actually at a conference. Either that or Tesco's. Discount on milk on aisle 3. So it's been super energetic, absolutely. That's the first thing I've noticed, and it's a different vibe, different feel from other conferences that we've been to. And that's not to say it's better or worse. It's just different, but it is big energy.
It's a lot of energy. I mean, it started out this morning with our first talk this morning was done by Tom Donnelly, and he is a very energetic, exciting
he's
talk.
He's a sleeper.
Yeah, he's something. He's kind of full of it. So no, it was a great talk. So far, the talks have been amazing. It's going to be. I'm already sensing like I'm feeling like I'm getting drenched with a fire hose with information.
Already,
just because there's so many really smart people here who know different things that we don't know, and we've had lots of just conversations in the hallways out here around the food with a lot of readers and writers that are out there that we've not had a chance to meet. So this has been fun for me.
The vendors really have time too. The way it's set up is the vendors all morning they're set up at their tables, and this is going to continue throughout the show. So in the moments of breaks and stuff, you go, oh, I haven't talked to BookBub yet, or I haven't gone over and seen Joe and Susie Solaro.
Or Vellum. Don't forget, we've got our good buddy Brad at Vellum.
Brad is here from Vellum, of course, and this show, as always, is brought to you by the fabulous Vellum. And what we got to do this morning was surprise Brad, because believe it or not, he wasn't current with listening to the show.
I know.
We forgive him. He's a busy man. So we got to play the song for him, the Vellum song, and he got to hear it for the first time. And let's just say the look on his face was priceless.
It did say a lot, and I would like to say it was. He said he was impressed, but I think he was just being polite to us.
His first words were, "Do we actually have a contract?" But I think he's going to grow to love it. So.
I think it is. It was a lot of fun. We've had a lot of people actually talk about it to us at this conference.
We have, and we get asked a lot about Vellum.
Yes,
and obviously. They sponsor the show, but the reason they sponsor the show, if we haven't made this clear in the past, is they were the very first entity we approached about sponsoring the show, because we made a list and we said, okay, who are the companies that we would like to be associated with because we truly believe in those companies?
Yes. We use their services. We want to make sure that we're not going to hawk something that we don't believe in.
Yep.
That's one of the things that we're pretty big about. We've talked about this in depth. And Vellum is just a fabulous product. Like we could go on and on, as we often do, but it's a great product and such a great. But it's just been an amazing show here anyway. So
yeah, brilliant. And their table's plenty busy over there. So we're going to get back to you when we've experienced a bit more of the show. We're going to have a few guests on. We'll make sure James Blatch, who runs the show, we'll talk to him a little bit later. And that's all coming up soon.
Yes, look forward to it.
All right, here we are at SPS London with our good friend, Joe Solari, who runs Author Nation. Joe, what are you doing here? This is the SPS London Conference, and yet you're here representing your conference, Author Nation.
Well, yeah, this year is our second year here. We have been friends with James for a long time. And we want to see his show be successful, so we support him here by coming in as a sponsor, just like he comes to our show and he acts as an MC and a spoken. So I think it's just kind of endemic of the whole industry of how we try and support each other, right? It's like we're not in competition. We're here exploring where we can all collectively take the industry and be successful together.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about this industry, I think, is that we are such a supportive clan. Like, I always feel like this is my posse. And I said posse, just to clarify.
You're in London, Doug.
Yeah, we're talking about being in London. We're looking out the window here at the Big Ben and
Parliament.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's funny because, like, I remember way back in the day listening to the SPS show and being like, wow, like James. Actually, this is a funny story because it was James interviewing John Logston. You know John, right? And I thought, wow, these two guys sound so smart and they know so much. I hope someday to meet them. And unfortunately, I have.
I don't think anybody ever says that about us, though, Nick. No one's ever going, man, these two guys...
The same category. Yeah.
Never meet your idols, right?
It's like, and it's great to be now not just like learning from them, but being collaborative with them and like, hey, where can we bring our strengths together to take this industry where it can go? Because I think there's, here or at our show, Nink is another great show, people are really bringing to the front what the problems are that they're facing, right? Whether specifically in their business or what they think is going on in the industry. And sometimes it's just like talking about a problem cuts the problem in half, right? It's just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of worried about that too. And it's like, should we be worried about that? Right? And a lot of times, no, it's like, just get back to your knitting, right? Just go back to writing those books, go back to loving on your customers, and the business will sort itself out.
And I'm just out of curiosity, like I'm sure that you come back from this and look at, as you're preparing for Author Nation in November, what do you take away from here to carry to this one or maybe even next year's program that you guys are, I'm sure, knowing James and you guys are pretty tight, that you're probably communicating on a regular basis of what's working and what's not for conferences.
Yeah, so I think that, don't forget, like James is kind of the forefront, but like Catherine is like the one that's running the operation. So I was just talking to her and we talk about, some of her best practices so that we can pick those up, and she does she's learning from us. I think that, it's a situation where this industry is moving so fast that like we're going to learn stuff here that's relevant today, and you need to, but like by the time November rolls around,
well, that didn't work anymore.
Literally, like we already had it where we've had to go to speakers and say, or the speakers have come to us and said, hey, what I pitched you that you've accepted, that doesn't work that way anymore. They just like, there's this new feature or this new way of doing things. It's like, we understand. So I think that's part of us, is like helping each other think through like, what is it that the industry needs to be staying on top of and what is distracting, right? Because like with AI, there's a lot of noise about like, oh, what people are doing with AI, but you can also be equally distracted by like trying to keep on pace with it. And you don't necessarily need to do that, right? You can be really, really distracted by the whole idea of like, oh, I need to, like this new version of ChatGPT came out. How can I use it? Well, is it making you money? Is it making your books better? Is it making your marketing better? Is it making customers easier to find you? No, on all fronts. Well, then it's a distraction.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I would say the other thing is, like you said, as fast as things are changing, that's the importance of a conference now in June and another conference in November, and Nink is in September, and you may have one in April. These things change so fast that these conferences are opportunities for us as authors to keep up with what is happening, and also, kind of like you said, we also find out we're not alone in some of these issues because we often tend to wallow around in our little offices and go, oh, why isn't this working? And
it's much nicer to have the rest of the herd around you going off the cliff. instead of plummeting on your own.
Yeah. It's nice when you're drowning in a group, right? I was talking with Siobhan and Jade, who do the Irish conference, and I was sharing some of the things that were complete flops, right? Like, so one of our big focuses and what we kind of see as a differentiator is what we're doing with Reader Nation. The first year, I had this grand idea that we were going to be about high-end, VIP, and we went out from the gate with a $200 ticket, and nobody bought it. And we pivoted in the second year and went to a free and an upsell. And now, like this last year, we're at 210 VIP tickets sold. It's important for us to share, like, hey, like, this is my scar tissue. This is what I'm learning as I grow this business, not just to other conference holders, but to you guys as authors. Is like, sometimes you're going to try marketing something and it's going to flop, right?
All the time, actually. Just today it's probably happened 3 times. So
Yeah. Well, and it's, like I was talking with Oriana Leckert from Kickstarter about some of the stuff we're doing around Kickstarter, and it's a way that we can kind of help each other collaborate, whether it's through our anthologies or this graphic novel project we're doing. But like, I'm just like you guys when we're running these things. It's like sometimes the marketing, I think I'm brilliant, and then the next day it's like, what happened? And it's like, you got to just be realistic about sometimes there's things that are out of your control, and you just got to roll with it.
you need a Nick to come tell you you're not brilliant. He tells me all the time that's not the smartest way to do things.
It's an important part of the feedback of the learning, Doug.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I feel the importance of it, and it helps. But yeah, I do think, and we've often preached about how great conferences are anyway, because it's a great, not just a chance to be with your tribe, but to learn everything, and just like you're learning here for conferences, we learn for authors what's working and what doesn't. And I encourage everybody who hasn't gone and booked for Author Nation to get your ass in line and get it, right?
Well, I think that, I don't know if intangible is the right word, but like there's something that happens when you're with authors and you're in that network, right? Even if you're just standing there listening to other authors talk, you're starting to get something out of those relationships. But if you do, and like I remember listening to your podcast a couple weeks ago, and you're like, hey, just come up to me and I'll introduce you to people, right?
Yeah.
And I think that,
I may not know them, but we'll go talk to them together.
Right. Yeah. But I think that that's the kind of thing where it's like, I've done that with people. It's like when I'm listening to somebody tell me about what they write or what they do, I'm thinking about like, who should I introduce you to? Because I know from my own business experience, those connections, they may happen over decades, right? But when they happen, like value's created.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Right?
And it's quickly, it deepens so quickly in this field, I think. Too.
Yeah. And I think that it's like people ask me, why did we take on Author Nation and do that? And it's because I saw what was happening at conferences and people figuring stuff out together, right? And sometimes it wasn't a puzzle to be unlocked. It was like, hey, I've always thought about maybe writing books about this. And the other person said, I've been thinking the same thing. It's like, well, why don't we try it as a co-write? And then like next thing, a new genre exists. It's really cool. And I haven't been part of an industry where you've been able to see creativity manifest so quickly, so well.
I think that's the key word is we're creatives, right? You've got there's 500 odd people here of creatives. The vendors are creative. They've created these things. We're creating books. That's a hive mind is amazing. It's powerful.
But Nick, I don't want to write that erotic leprechauns in space that you want to write. But Joe does. So somebody will do it.
He wants to read it.
Yeah. Well, that's it too, right? No, I love that idea about like, you think about some of the vendors that are here, how they got started solving an author problem, right? They made the whole industry exponentially better because they're like, well, I might not be the greatest writer, but like I can solve that problem. And then they make it possible for everybody in the industry to do better, and I would, for Suze and I to go around, what's great about coming to an event like this is it gives like, and this is why we came back this year, is like we get to hang out with the vendors we're not the host, right? It's like, it's not our wedding, it's somebody else's, so we get to drink, and we get to, right? It's still just as draining, right? It's like, I'm already like, how am I going to make it to the boat tonight? Like, got to keep the energy up. Because I love hanging out and talking and collaborating. I mean, I had some conversations with specific authors about their business, and then I'm like, hey, have you thought about this? And they're like, no, I haven't. That's really cool. And I'm like, that's me doing my job.
Yeah. Well, they do have an espresso machine here if you need to make it, which is pretty awesome.
I've been working that thing like a rented mule. Dude, it is.
So next year we'll see one rolling into Author Nation with a new espresso machine.
The little LED already came up with no more neck. Yeah. It said on that. Hey, look, it's great to see you. It's even better to see Sue's here, of course.
Yes.
And we can't wait to see you in November. It's going to be good. I'm super excited.
Awesome. It's great being on the podcast and love what you guys are doing. We'll see you in November.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. And now we'll hear from this episode's sponsor.
Author Nation has synopsis and video clips from the 2025 show, over 60 sessions for authors to peruse for free at authornation.live/knowledge base.
The Knowledge Base is a living example of how to prepare your website for the changes that are happening to how you get visibility in AI chat and to establish authority. Check it out and come to the show to learn more about GEO from thought leaders like Ricardo Fayette.
Join us November 10th through 13th in Las Vegas.
And back to the show. Becca Syme, always lovely to see you at any event.
Yes.
And welcome to London.
Thank you.
You did a talk yesterday. You're going to do another talk today. How's it going?
It's going great. It is a very lively experience to be here. There's a lot of people here, and it's a lot of fun to see all the authors in one place. It's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's really nice. A lot of what we've talked with James and Joe about earlier is just kind of what you get, the value you're getting out of the conferences. And so what do you think is something that, some of our listeners would think, should I go to a conference or not? What's the value in that?
Yeah, there's so much about our career that is isolating. And this is the opposite of that. And I think if all you ever do is just consume things online and you are isolated in your house with yourself all the time, you lose a lot of perspective that the community brings. And I think there's some benefit to being confronted by, like, if people are not coming because they're introverted, it's like, well, there's ways to be introverted at conferences, and there are ways to handle overwhelm at conferences. Just the community alone, but then in addition, having all the vendors here, like being able to physically speak to someone at BookFunnel or at BookBub or talk to me or talk to you guys, like, you're not going to meet us in person anywhere other than these conferences.
Right. Yeah, and you talked about the energy here, something we've talked about a lot. There's a real buzz, but as you mentioned, introverts might find that intimidating, but there's plenty of space. We've found people like off in a corner. There's great places to go, kind of unwind and push that aside.
Yeah, we're in one of the corners, right? Like, we're in a place where there's basically no people. We're kind of by ourselves. So there are still places. And I have a feeling that more conferences are also going to start making introvert-friendly spaces. It's one of the things that we suggest to all the big conferences is to say, you have a lot of introverted authors who are not coming because they will not function as well when they're forced to be in these loud spaces all the time. But it's really easy to combat that by having a quiet room. And so more conferences are doing that kind of thing. But even if it isn't present, it's still worth facing a little bit of overwhelm and not letting the fear keep you away from the opportunity.
Yeah. And another thing I want to talk to you about is the industry's tough right now. There's a lot of things going against us in many ways in the industry. And I know you've put out a lot of great content on helping people find their way past that. One thing that I've really noticed coming here is just to be surrounded with other authors and go, yeah, these things are tough right now, but I already, after one day of this, I feel far more positive the fact that you're sharing that issue. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, there's something about being in it together. I think there is an element of, like, when you're suffering alone and you feel worse about it than you do when you know other people are going through the same things. The other thing is, when you have the community around you, they can help you remember why you do these things. Like, I went to, just a plug for SPS London, right? I went to Westminster tour the Abbey the other day, where all of like T.S. Eliot and Shakespeare are buried, right? So I'm like walking around sort of really emotional, reminding myself about why I do this, because the thing that I can't have at home, that I can't get, are those unexpected moments of inspiration and reminders about what it is that I want to write for. And it's fed me in a way that I don't think I could get anywhere else.
Yeah, it does have London is a great literary town.
Literary city.
I mean, I walk
Amazing.
around, you said T.S. Eliot. My wife and I found where Virginia Woolf lived, and we passed, and the number of bookstores that I found myself lost in. So, hey, if you're nothing else, you want to come hang out and check out the books. We love books as authors, so.
Yeah, it's amazing here. Of course, we spent a couple days in Oxford, so we went to like the Inklings places and saw where Tolkien is buried and saw Tolkien's house. And I mean, there just is nothing quite like it, especially if you're American and you have not experienced the literary history of England before. This is a great way to get an opportunity. It was an hour train ride to Oxford from Paddington, so it was great.
For anyone listening, if you haven't heard Becca speak at any of these events, I challenge you to come out of a room after hearing Becca speak and not feeling better about life, what you do, anything. So
good.
Where are you speaking here on out after SPS for the rest of the year?
I'm speaking at NINC this year as well, where I think you guys are also going
we'll
to
be
NINC.
there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm going to Author Nation. I'll be at Superstars in Colorado as well in February. I'm trying to hit all of the big conferences again because I kind of took some time away from bigger conferences for a while, and I'm trying to hit all the big ones again. So I'll be almost everywhere next year. That is the larger conferences. You can hear me there.
Brilliant. We'll catch you there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And now, a quick word from this episode's sponsor.
Hey, this is Jamie Davis, the show manager for Author Nation. Make sure you stop me and say hi if you come to us in Las Vegas this November. Also, why do space aliens always spill their tea? Because they use flying saucers.
And now, back to the show.
James, we're at the end of these 2 days. I'm amazed you're still standing after all of this.
So am I.
How do you think it went?
So I think I meant what I said I was sort of joshing on stage when I said everyone's polite to me and everyone's feeling a buzz from being here. So it's been almost overwhelmingly positive. And things that have been negative have been small, fixable things for next year. But that doesn't mean it is definitely the right thing to do. It's a high-end way of doing a conference. We charge probably as much as Vegas do, maybe even more. But what you get, I think whilst people bulked a little bit at the ticket price, we sold out anyway. I think they got here and they saw where the money is. The money is in the service, in the food, in the view, in the location, and the rest of it. So I think people now understand what it is they're saying yes or no to, and that's a decision we make. Have to make it quickly because you have to book these places a year in advance.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of weeks, we'll make a big decision on whether we do this again or we find somewhere probably outside London and do it cheaply. But my preference is, I think particularly at the moment where this networking and being in person and drilling down in detail on subjects is more important than it's ever been as our industry gets turned upside down by AI, I think it's worth investing in this kind of couple of days. And that's the feeling I got, well, at least the anecdotal feeling I got from people.
I would say I would agree with that because the conversations we've had through out here among the food, which, by the way, some of the best food I've had. And I used to work in banquets and hotels, and I was like, I went back, told my wife, I said, man, they're feeding us like phenomenally. I was blown away by that.
Well, I didn't realise it's their thing. So Etc. Venues are a big global company. They have places in New York and Singapore, and Jen Barrett, who's the KDP UK person, her husband is a chef, works all over London, works for all the big chefing companies. And he said to her the night before, oh, you're at Etc. Venue, you're going to be well fed. So they have a reputation. They have a kitchen here, they don't buy in or anything. So I hadn't realised quite how much of a thing it is, but the food was sensational. The curries, I was like, can I have more?
I know,
more
yeah.
curry?
I'm just telling you, like having done banquets and stuff for about 10 years of my career pre-writing, I was blown away. But
it's hard to feed a lot of people well, isn't it? It's fine to do it for a small meal.
Right, but it was, I never went hungry, and you can tell I don't usually go hungry, so it's okay. But overall, as we had these conversations, this is such a big time of change for us, and And as we talked about with Joe and a little bit with Becca earlier, is the great things about these conferences is we get a chance to re-gauge what everybody is. And as we're all kind of worried about where it's going, we're also all together in this, we're climbing this cliff together, about to jump off together or whatever we're going to do, but we're doing it together and we can see where everybody else is going. And the energy here was amazing, I think. So I was blown away with it. So
I'm pleased you said that, because I think it did feel in here very cohesive, and it did feel like that. And it felt like we're navigating this uncertainty together. But out there in the forums and on Facebook and on Substack, it doesn't feel as cohesive as it used to. It feels quite angsty, feels confrontational, and people talk in the way they do online that they wouldn't do in real life. So that's another reason for actually being in the room talking about this stuff rather than posting your emotional reaction to a Substack post. So another important reason for having an in-person meeting.
Yeah. Well, and I would also say, because you're right, I think the forums and stuff, you see a lot of negativity, but the people that are that negative are not the ones who are coming and putting in the effort at these kind of conferences. Those kind of people don't want to put in the effort to do this. They only want to complain about it, and you got to kind of decide what kind of people you are. And this is, if you're willing to come to this conference or any of the conferences you're going to go to, you're putting in an effort, and at that point it becomes a little bit more, I think.
I think we have to be honest about this, and I already this year set my stall out and spoken quite openly about this, but I think that the people who say I want nothing to do with AI, I think it's immoral, it's unethical, they stole all the rest of it, I'm having nothing to do with it, I respect them, but I'm not going to lie to them and say it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. You are going to be left behind. You are going to disadvantage yourself. And, if breaking even is your aim, how are you going to do that if you're going to not use the same tools that everybody else is using to move forward? So we have to have honest conversations. You have to tell people things they don't necessarily want to hear. It's a lot easier and kinder in person than it is on a Facebook thread.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think talking about the energy here, I can't believe it maintained. There's such a buzz. And part of it, when you're thinking about venue, there's some minor downsides to this. But the upside was, this was brilliant, by the way. We're standing in a room here. It's a long, narrow room. There's food stations and coffee stations along the way where you could get. The vendors were here for 2 days straight, all around the edge of this room. And this was the thoroughfare. If you want to go to the loo, you're going to walk through here and walk through the vendors. And that might sound like you're walking through market stalls of people shouting. Not at all. When we walked in here yesterday morning and everyone was set up, I was like, oh, shit, I've got to go around and talk to everybody because I won't have a chance because they'll be gone. No, they're here for 2 days, all around this room. So you had so much time to spend with everybody, and it created this buzz about this room. And when everyone came out of the talks, they all met back in this main room again, and that buzz comes back again. Everyone's talking about, hey, I just heard this. Did you listen to that? We did the divide and conquer thing where, like, you go in that one, I'll go in this one. So I think that holding that energy level up for 2 days, I mean, the biggest thing I came out of here with is, James, can you add a third day?
Yeah, you're the second person to ask for that today.
Yeah, honestly, and especially for us because we're coming such a long way, it's like, I'd love to have a third day. Yeah.
I mean, the suggestion from someone else was a mastermind day, a smaller number, where we probably would focus on AI and sort of more advanced uses and
marketing
and so
stuff.
On, and marketing. Yeah, not out of the question.
Well, to give you the instant feedback now, thank you. I'm going to sign up for next year.
Yes.
I was like, maybe this is you do it once every 3 years, fly all the way from the Caymans to the UK. But it's, I'm going to sign up for sure. So this. Well,
you used to live in New Zealand, so you're halfway here anyway. You may as well just do the last part.
I spent some time.
He sounds Australian to me. I don't know.
Give me that back. You're banned. Hey, James, thanks a lot for putting this on. It's been brilliant. We've really enjoyed
Doug,
it.
It's such a thrill having you here. I'm so honoured that you came and you're broadcasting from here as well, and you've got me on. So I love you guys, and thank you.
Yo, thanks for everything you do. We appreciate it, mate. Okay, end of day 2, Dougie Doug.
Woo, man! I don't know about you.
I'm ready for a nap.
I was going to say, I'm thinking a nap and a really a cold drink. Although this is England, there's not anything cold, is there?
The weather
outside, yes, it's been cold as balls out here.
All right, we're wrapped up. What's the big takeaways?
Oh, wow, it's. Like a lot of conferences, it's like drinking from a fountain, like a fire hose. It's just insane, the amount of information you get. But the big takeaway has been nice to see that we're in the lifeboat with other people as this industry is changing. Yep. I'm the last conference I was at was in Author Nation in November. I think you were at NINC in September.
Yep.
we already talk about on a regular basis on the podcast all the changes that we see in the industry, and it's nice to get together with other people besides you and me, because we can be an echo chamber if we're not careful, and realize that we're in the same boat with a lot of these people, and then other people can start seeing a light that maybe you and I don't see, and we are able to then grasp a hold of it. So.
Yeah. I think the 2 days were really well structured. I came here not depressed, but certainly, there's a lot going on that's challenging right now in our industry as indies, as any author out there. And I honestly came here searching for ways forward.
Right, yes.
Searching for some light to pick things back up again, right? It's definitely a lull for me at the moment where there's a lot of good things going on, but there's definitely a lull. And I am leaving here absolutely energized. And part of that is just being amongst like-minded. We talked about it already, sharing, jumping off the cliff together kind of thing. But also, there were some great presentations here.
For sure.
On Facebook, on Amazon, and mindset, all kinds of stuff. I'm leaving here with notes.
Oh, I'm loaded up. I've got so much to do to get going. Like we said, it is one of the big consensus from people we've talked to is that we are as an industry are in a period of massive change. So we as authors have to be ready to pivot. And we've said this before on the podcast. Pivoting is so important to know which way to go. And it's nice to know, like I said, it's nice to know it's not just me looking at it going, okay, well, this doesn't seem to be working. Is it just me? Because there are people out there who are doing well and not to fault them, sometimes a lot of luck goes into that. We maybe do everything right, and that was something someone else said. You may do everything right, and it just isn't working. So maybe you need to pivot and see what is the problem. And it's hard to even know when you're pivoting what to do. And again, the other thing I heard a lot is almost every talk when they talked about that change is that your mileage may vary, which is another thing that we talk about a lot. It may different. We write thrillers, and romance may be doing this right now. Lit RPG through the roof right now. And so it's a little bit different than trying to write, if you're writing Amish romance or something like that, it's going to be a big difference. So.
Yeah, no, great. We talked on the show that we did together about conferencing and how to go about it and come in with a plan, come in with things that you wanted to. And there were some talks here that I absolutely wanted to attend, and I made sure I did. I went in there to get something out of them. I got something out of them, and now I'm going to go home and try those things and see if it works, especially with Facebook ads, which have been so challenging. And there was a great talk by Jerry Kilby on Facebook ads.
Yes.
So great stuff. Really good conference.
It has been very, very phenomenal. And we had Becca on a minute ago. She's talked the same thing. Like these are important events, and oftentimes you can't. This is a far away for a lot of our listeners. I mean, this is we had to cross the Atlantic. Right, it's the Atlantic. I'm not. My geography is not the best. It's like my math.
Yeah. If you went across the Pacific to get here, you went the long way.
Yeah, I'm a really terrible sailor if I don't know that. Right, but the fact is, like the good thing is, if you miss this and you still want the information, they're offering a digital.
Yeah, digital.
Package.
It's like $150, and you can. Everyone. They did a really pro job of filming and recording, and it was a big deal in all of them to make sure the mic was passed around, so they picked up every question. So you'll get every single piece of the presentation here for $150 and watch it in your own home. So it's brilliant.
It's totally worth it for the amount of information I got from it. And like I said, there's a huge value to being here in person. I'll say that. So as other conferences come up and you have a chance to go, make sure you take advantage. But if you can't, because not everybody can, not everybody's able to take off, there's an opportunity to still get this information and learn from it. And one of the other things I picked up on, and something that I fall short of, and I know you're probably a lot better at this than I am, is really just keeping up with the information, maybe doing things as much as watching YouTube videos about Facebook ads and watching how other people are doing things. And there's so much resources out there that we can get, and this is one of those, and you should totally take advantage of it.
Absolutely. Really quality couple of days in a fantastic location, really good presenters. I am so happy we made the effort to come over here and do this.
For sure.
This has been great. And it's always fun to hang out with you.
Oh, well, sure.
We've had some fun evenings, and we're going to go out with a bunch of friends and have another fun evening tonight.
We're dragging a little bit. We're tired.
Yeah. Jet lag is real.
Jet lag has been a little brutal. I think next year we're going to come in a week early so we can build that in. I thought 2 days was going to be enough, but now I'm starting to feel okay that it's coming to the end. But I think there's lots of opportunities here, and totally think it's worth going again.
Absolutely. Big thank you to everyone that supports us on Patreon. If you're not currently supporting us, we'd love it if you did. Help put this show out here.
And don't forget, we got to hang out with Brad. I don't know where I pulled Mark from.
Brad from Vellum.
Vellum. So that was always fun too. And so big thank you to Brad over there and all the Brads.
And on the Vellum stand where Brad was, and he's hoarse. I'm hoarse from talking to people. He's hoarse from talking to 2 days. They had the forced edges examples.
They look gorgeous, didn't they?
Oh, man,
they were so pretty.
Some really cool nice stuff, and pictures inside the graphics inside the book. Some beautiful stuff. So huge thank you to the Brads at Vellum for supporting the show. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening in. Yeah. Until next time.
Well, also, before you go, let's make a big thank you to James Blatch and his team here, because they've been very welcoming to let us come record here and talk to us while we're doing it.
Absolutely,
for sure. They did a great job, and we want to call out to all of them. They had a great team. So
good one. Yeah. Until next time, be cool to each other.
Fair winds and following seas.
You've been listening to the Two Authors Podcast with Nicholas Harvey and Douglas Pratt. Subscribe on your favourite platform for new shows coming every week.